Alright, gang, we're straight in here. A little overpass. A little over of passing between Eros and Disconnected. Disconnected's map pick, so Eros starting on the CT side. And we're going to see what we've actually got going here. These first few rounds, frankly, should be telling. It's a 4-man B setup here early for Eros. Playing a little retake A, heavy B, counter out any potential rushes, things like that. And you got Rezion doing the little info hops. But everybody's coming up connector. So for now, they will find nobody.
Nothing just yet, but in that, it's information in its own regard. Omniscient is alone on the site for the time being and has a lot to get done here. First couple shots will go awry, but in finding one, it's good. Buys time to rotations on over, but cannot hold any longer. Silas taking him down to now. Site secured for Disconnected. Falls to the retake on the side of Eros, but utility available. At least in way of that defuse kit. No smoke, though. Finally, yes, and he gets aggressive. Finds one. Trades are there fast. Still, the positioning is good here. For Stan and Silas. Blanket has to be shut down. Stan's done it. Silas finds a frag as well. Freshie is alone. The kit is on the floor. He knows where these players are, but time is working against him. And well, he's isolated Silas. He just can't quite find the kill. So, a pistol round for Disconnected.
Nice little take there. Nice round for Silas, obviously coming in with 3 kills. I mean, it's relatively straightforward, right? It's a heavy B setup. They go A. Good pick, Disconnected. But then they also do a good job in the post plant. The one thing they needed to avoid doing was giving too much of a fight over. Obviously, especially when they're into the 2v1 versus Freshie. And Silas is good job of backpedaling a little bit. Probably, maybe even should have ducked a bit more. But hey, works out. Works out just fine. Not going to be investing here in the second round. And Beaky only getting 1. That's a little awkward. Was trying to farm some cash with the Mac. We'll have to drop that down for the time being. If they could do any further damage with just these pistols, that would be frankly phenomenal.
Would be fantastic. And there's still a good chance at it. Position towards the A site is good, and out towards long. Mythic is in a good position. Trying to at least find this early information. It's the Mac 10 at range, though. Tough spot. He'll tuck in. It's the right angle to be playing, and there's a Molly. Sure, if he can find one peel away, there's a chance to create space, but no. Stanislaw shuts it down. So now long control swings the way of Disconnected, and it should be a formality to take this site. Still, these pistols can be potent, and Shutout shows it. Takes down Delta 9 and still tries to punch for more. Needs at least something more here. But will not happen. Disconnected. They take some heavy damage, but still find the round.
All right, rifles coming out here for Eros early. They're going to be somewhat limited in what they've got. Surprised they go for so much head armor, although I suppose with the Galales arrayed against them, they need to get it going on. Don't believe they have a kit, though, so that could become a limitation if we get the retake. Utility's decent. No off, obviously. I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen with that in this map in general. Frankly. But here we go. Disconnected. Playing a little bit spread in this particular round as they look for any aggression. Try and take some fights. Maybe shut down players early on. And Eros are going for some aggression, but it's the one space that isn't being covered right this minute. They've taken the control outside of construction.
It's long though. Double setup for contact. Eros is going to find nothing.
They gave it up.
Yeah.
They gave it up immediately. It's a bit unusual. Freshie's kind of peeking it from construction, but especially with the smoke down into the deep sewer tunnel, you maybe expect him to set up outside a connector and try and hold on to that territory, but they're not going to do so. They rotate a third player up towards A instead, and Disconnected still really aren't committed towards anything. You can see the bombs all the way back. So presumably this B anchor player, this B lurking player, is going to come back through, retrieve that C4, and join up. But they'll have to do that eventually, and in 40 seconds on the clock, it's going to have to be sooner rather than later.
And there's a timing in the bathrooms. JT not quite able to get it done. Delta 9 finds the opener. This should now call for the hit towards the A site. Bomb is making its rotation on in, but time is ticking down. And Omniscient is on a good angle. A player out towards long as well, who is yet to be contested. And the duel against Spermy, a 1v1. If this can be won, Eros things swing in their favors, and Rezion, he's found it, but still Omniscient in a bit of trouble alone on the site, and the flashes are good. The fight from long, though, still a possibility, and it's a second one to be found, but the extension, the T's take the fight all the way in deep, and sure, the time is low, but it's no issue. At least for the moment, because the bomb is down now. That clock, it starts to tick against Eros. Shutout needs to work this retake. On his lonesome, no kit, just a smoke. But wounded players on the other side. Beaky's 1 HP. And Stanislaw nicked as well. But Beaky's just going aggro, and, well, there's a crossfire. They both push in together, and Shutout not looking the right way.
I like the fact that Beaky's just still pushing forward, despite the fact that he has exactly 0 health to spare, right? He's 1 bullet away from death. He's like, I'm a crab walk this corner.
Might as well.
Sets up nicely for Silas to take that through, obviously, and hey, the forward positioning works out for Disconnected. So they passed the first hurdle here, which was to say the gun round. Eros need to show us a little more. Gonna go for an early stack over towards the A side of the map. Players in the bathrooms barreling on out. Now there's a push in towards Connector, but Delta 9, at least for the time being, is just waiting to see if any of that aggression comes through. This is looking like a full exec on towards B, which, as we clearly know with our omniscient view, there's no one on. Empty site.
Fruit.
Bomb plant.
Low fruit. The fruit is on the floor to grab that one, Mike. Oh,
you know, someone's got to harvest it, otherwise it just goes to waste.
Suppose so. Bomb will be planted here for Disconnected. They should be able to lock this one down pretty well, as they still have Delta 9 working his way out towards Connector. He can cut rotation here for Omniscient. Yeah, wait a minute. Was that a double nade, or was that...
It was a nade, certainly. All right, they've just found what they wanted out of this round, which is a single AK. Get rid of that and take it through to the next. There we go. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with that nade kill.
Through the divider and then a nade over? Not sure.
Something happened down there. We didn't really see what was going on with that one. But, yeah, interesting that the only kill for Disconnected in this round comes with an HE.
There's bullets in the wall there. I'm guessing it was just a spam, and then the nade follows it up as he tries to retreat. They hear the footsteps through the nade.
Yeah, maybe. Wouldn't make some sense.
To look back at.
Although he was back tucked to feet. I don't know. I don't know how things work. But anyways, Disconnected up 4-0 is the end result. But an AK gets taken through, and we've got the op out for Rezion. So, let's see what Rezion can do.
Well, to see what he can get done in this one. It's a good buy up for this entire squad. Rezion wants to maybe get a little bit aggressive here. Is he going to take the fight towards party, or is he going to just peek his way out? Try and hold in main. Nothing found, falls away.
They put a smoke up for that even. That's careful. Oh, the nade!
Boost.
It doesn't do anything. Everybody's there, and the nade doesn't do anything. HE's, man. Blocked by a little bit of sandbags. This is a really weird setup. You don't see this very often. A boost up over the smoke on construction. This certainly is going to catch somebody off guard, right? Stand looking for it. He's clearing for it. He might actually check this fully. They're trying to boost in. This is such an exposed angle. Now with the smoke faded, 1:15 on the clock. They've kept this for so long into the round. They are really committed to this play. The question is, will he yield fruit? Now the molly coming down. That might dissuade him. The barrel's visible! But he doesn't realize what he's found, and Omniscient does, in fact, get the kill through onto Silas, and now they'll give it up.
Oh, that's a tragedy. Stan saw it just a second too late, so information not swinging on over. It's a free opener for Eros, and now Disconnected have to try and find a reply. They're set up to hit towards his B site. And they're trying to find information elsewhere, but great shot out of Rezion. Delta 9 falls. Now options really limited for the T's. They have to go.
Blind fire. Timing on the flashbang shot. Now here's Pete from Freshy. Another good flash. Spermie's down for the count off of that one. And a swing back in. Freshy wants more. He wants 2 scoops on this Sunday. It's all going to be up to Stanislaw. A 1v5. 3 players on site. 20 seconds to go. Don't know that this one's terribly possible for the veteran in-game leader. But it looks like he wants to try. Certainly doesn't want to die after clock. So if he's going to keep pushing in here, he better do it now. 1 kill found. A little bit of damage there. But 3 seconds. They might just hunt him and clock him. He's got the money to spare. It happens. But he will get killed right after time expires. No loss bonus for him in this round. Fortunately, he has 8,300 to spare.
It's wild that that setup works. I mean, how often do you see that play, first of all? Especially as only the second rifle round available for Eros. But the gamble works out. Stanislaw, unknowing of what was directly in front of him, so the defender of the boosted man finds a shot and fall away. Time was already so limited. The Disconnected was forced to commit into something, and it's only a few flashes away from closing things out. Still, as you mentioned, the money is pretty darn good for Disconnected, so they'll have a full buy back into this one.
That they will. that they will. And they're going to pull out an op T side for Beaky. Okay, Beaky open for them now. See if that holds. Was Stan picking it up earlier, but
Yeah.
to be quite frank, he looks better on the rifle, so I don't mind him losing the scope. Where are they going to come through? Delta 9 eats a teensy tiny bit of nade damage, but ultimately that's really not going to matter. It's a happy exchange price for full connector control, which they have conceded. Here you see the deeper construction setup. This is what we were wondering why they gave up previously. So Eros do have that information over towards B, but they're still keeping a third player on the site. A lot of times what you'll see teams do is they'll take this construction control and then they'll rotate the third player up towards A so that they have a really effective position to play retake B if it turns into a pure monster play. But this time they're also going to leave a player barrels to watch the monster push, and indeed it's a monster push that seems like it's going to come through for Disconnected.
And now it really comes down to this connector player and how much value can be found out of shutout, because the time is so low. If you could fell this bomb, even just delay on this execute, it could be massive. Rezion's heading the wrong direction, so Op not in play. Shutout's in trouble. He's found a kill, though. And actually manages to get away. No, not quite. Freshy, though, on the refrag. Swings on forward. Has to keep the fight close on the site. He'll do just that. Freshy on the hold. The support from the back lines, and Eros taking it double.
So that's, I mean, it winds up being a good hold for Eros, but the rotation's kind of odd off of it. I don't know what they saw, right? They're locked into their setup right up until the clock hits about 40 seconds. And then they drop a Molotov in towards Monster, and the barrels player rotates off. If he just sticks there, there's no way they're even getting in towards the site. If he holds the Molotov till he gets some sort of detection of players coming through, there's no way they're getting on towards the site. It still works out, because obviously they kill forward, they do good, you know, and they keep most of their bodies alive. But it'll be interesting to see if maybe that push them forward. Nice hold from JT, gets two. Jan getting overwhelmed with the AWP. He's got support, though, and they will be able to get through just fine. Even an egg coming in from a teammate afterwards to nearly take their offer out of play. Still, 4 players surviving now 2 rounds in a row. Arrows are building up that cashola.
Putting the investments in the right place and starting to reap the benefits of that one now is Disconnected. Took the Vol save, fell on their swords, so full buy will come back out in towards this one. And now, again, the question is, where do we go early with that AWP for Rezion? He's going to try the peek out towards Main again, but second round in a row, no one there to test him. Timing bested him out towards the playground, and Spermy's just waiting. There's a chance for it. Still, Spermy gives the chance, but Rezion will miss the shot.
Pepper up damage. A little bit of default for Disconnected. Seen a lot of these rounds end with eventual B plays. A flashbang hucked into sight. There's nothing behind it, though, so I guess it's just designed to control the rotator, which would tell me they're executing on towards A, except that once again, they just don't have the bomb. So they're clearing out positions, but then they're not holding on to them, so then the op just swings again, right? They threw the Molotov to clear out the brackets play, but they don't actually do anything with it to take the space. And so the op's just further behind, and Rezion gets himself a pretty free kill, just with a little bit of a peek back in. Disconnected, now working their way up some bathrooms control, but that op, of course, still does lurk. So the question is, can they push him off this angle? Can they find this kill? It's the first piece to getting towards the site, but they need to find it. And no, the jump pass doesn't bait the shot. Fermi is able to trade, but now JT is the next hurdle to overcome, back by the dice, and he's going to play very aggressive with this smoke, but the smoke blinds his eyes.
Spermy's still here.
And Silas will at least clear a space frame punching the numbers. Perhaps.
Smoke forward. Space is given. Freshy wants to attempt to contest,
Look
but
at the
the
flank.
bullets don't connect. So now this flank, it becomes the biggest issue, and this one does. Silas fall, absolutely. Discipline for a moment, but this round should be down pat. Spermy is alone, only 6 HP to his name. Another kill would be fantastic, but he won't even be gifted that. Just too many angles to worry about. Not enough HP to suffice. And a 4th round now to tie us up. Eros starting to look a little bit better, but on the side of Disconnected, Mike, these are some of the early warning signs we were seeing in some of these early games from this squad, right? Like, we're thinking about the rounds where they get lethargic, where they slow down in the mid-round, poke space early, concede it, and this is now the second time where that op has been able to repost and punish.
It's just interesting, right? Because they're throwing some nades, and they're not bad nades inherently, but they're not. They don't feel very intentional, right? Like they throw the nade, but they don't do the thing after the nade that the nade is designed to set up. I don't know. We'll see. This time they throw a construction nade or Molotov, right? Which is designed to keep the early construction control from turning off. But then they don't contest it themselves, so they don't take that space. So the Molotov doesn't really afford them the position that you would have expected from it, right? It shuts down the forward play from Eros. Fair play. But if you don't take the ground yourself,
Yeah.
it's not that intentional Molotov. So I'm not sure I'm getting the full picture here from Disconnected, if that makes sense. I'm getting pieces, but they're not being assembled into a picture. This jigsaw still needs to be figured out. And in this round where you have really limited utility, throwing a nade that's not designed to do something feels like a bad bet.
I suppose there's a case to be made that maybe it's to try and push away that construction play and exploit elsewhere, but nothing is quick enough to really get any follow-up besides maybe the fear factor. And you see, in the mid-round, inching forward is Omniscient. He has a chance to re-clear this space, but the focus, it has to be on JT, and, well, he's good under that pressure. He's good under the limelight, but only for one. So, a gun on the floor, a bomb to be planted, the nades cannot delay, nor can the AWP of Rezion, so this falls to a retake. Sure, Eros have the advantage in weaponry and in utility as well, but Disconnected are forward. They have time on their side, and Stanislaus CZ should at least be good for one, so long as he picks the right angle. It's a gamble off the 50-50, the flash. Go forward, stand to be blinded, and he will fall. Nothing to come of the forward position. Still, time is dwindling from this clock, and Freshie is just claiming the space. Rezion should be able to stick this one. Will the spam connect? Not quite. Diffuse is coming through, and there's nothing to be done to stop it. Disconnected. They get it damn close for the eco. They get the damage on in a bomb plant, sure, but just not around.
Frankly, fantastic considering it. Eros, I mean, this is the reality of playing so far back, right? You're scared of giving up the eco, so you play very far back, but then it means that if JT Mythic goes down, there's not really anyone who can hold him off the site. There's not really anyone who can help him. So they played a retake setup. It wound up working out. Very much too close for comfort if you're Eros. I think they got a little lucky that the player with the M4 lost the track of the plant spot and smoke just a touch. But they're going to get the round. They're going to keep it going. They're going to keep their streak of rounds going. What now, 5 in a row? Or something like that?
Sounds about right. Disconnected. Early, hot start, but now starting to dwindle a little bit. This round has the early looks of something again back towards B. That space in towards construction has now been taken, and that op will be posted on the line to hold for a cross back from main. BU won't be given anything just yet. The setup for Eros, sure, it's 3 strong, but it's no one getting aggressive. Freshie, the most forward man, and still in a rather safe position so long as he doesn't test this AWP. And for now, he won't. Bombs on rotation back up toward that A site, and the long play actually being conceded. Eros instead more focused on re-clearing over towards this site.
Ground's been given up. Eros rotating again. I'm not sure off of what. But they've moved the op on over to support. They're playing just one man up on towards A. If JT Mythic goes down, it'll once again be a relatively free and clear bomb site for Disconnected, and they're going to go ahead and test it. Slowly, because that's how they do most things, but here's the kill that comes in, and there's no other gatekeepers to lock them out of the site, so this bomb's going down. Nothing that can be done about that for Eros. They've got the money to contest, so save really shouldn't be a question. But they're not going to send anyone on the flank. They're not going to connect her. So everybody's coming back in from the same side. They're going to make their way through. The bathroom setup's already there. Disconnected. This is as strong a post plant as you're ever going to get. They should be taking this round in Eros or even giving up. They're going for the save.
They have no utility. No smoke, no flash, just nothing to work with. I mean, sure, you have the money to support, but going into a play like this would be suicide. Stan realizes that this is bound to be a save. He'll push forward. Wants to contest, try and take a few of these guns away, if possible. That won't happen. Stan instead will fall. An already damaged decon for Disconnected does not want to be tested any further, as forced stay up on each side, and Disconnected grab the round 5 apiece.
It'd be nice to see Eros shift up their pace towards A, or sorry, not their pace even, their setup rather, right? Rezion's hot with the op right now, 10 and 4. The numbers are good, and it's very evident in his playstyle as well, right? He's pretty confident with that zoom banger. Set him up to take some space early, right? Try and go for the fountain peak, something like that. Disconnected are playing super slow. I get that. And when the team's playing super slow, there's the temptation to hang back and try and delay them with utility when they eventually do go for the hit. But you get an early pick, I bet you they're going to play even slower. And they're not going to do it this round. Once again, Eros immediately give up the ground, throw a little bit of utility, and then tuck tail and duck towards site. Rezion sticking around towards the divider, so he's at least got a little bit more ground. And now he's calling JT Mythic back with him. So they're holding a little bit further forward. They're not quite contesting Fountain. But they are at the very least hoping to catch somebody moving in a party. But it's going to be a play towards B this time around. Spermy has found a kill on towards Shutout. I expect the rest of the team to follow him before too long. A minute 15 on the clock, though. They do have time to play with, and they'll let it play out.
Another attempt at this boost, a risk, but it's rewarded. Omniscient trades things back on a little bit of damage received, so now issues in the land of Disconnected, but look out towards long. Stan has walked up, he's already deep, and he might have a flank if the timing is right. JT's checking this, stands on the angle and finds the shot. He should push for more in this one, and now has to contest against the AWP. It's Rezion, and he'll work his way back on in. Still unknown in this round, so tucks at the divider. If he can find a kill here, cut a rotation, things look even better. But the thing is, Disconnected don't even want this bomb site. They're doubling back towards B. It's the right call. Free for now. Someone go recover that bomb and take that B site for free. Spermy will be the one to grab the space.
They pulled a full rotation. Eros have been doing this. They've been over-rotating. And now Disconnected to catch them with their pants down. Now this round, frankly, well, I was going to say until I killed potentially be a save. Not gonna happen. Freshy will go for a poke back through. The spray, though, is wild. The kill does not come in. So Omniscient and Rezion hoping for something. They got a couple flashes, but that's it in the util department. Maybe Omniscient can drop one from heaven and allow a bit of a peek out from the sidewalk, but it's gonna be tough. And now as Omniscient goes down, that's gonna make the decision for them. Rezion has to back away. The AWP not able to do anything in this situation. Disconnected will pull back into the lead.
You're right to call it out. The over-rotation has been massive for this Eros squad. Constantly gambling on the wrong horse in this one. And the thing is, they had that early space out towards long. They had a player to contest, but in their setup, they don't give a lot of room for errors over towards A. So it's that double back, that re-clear necessitated. And in that gap, space is found for the likes of Disconnected. And they don't even want the space. Plenty of time is left on the clock for them, so they just double back down towards that B site and find good use of it.
All right, so what do we got here? What are we doing here? We've got JT Mythic going towards the A side, and it's again going to be a 4-stack in towards B, and they will leave JT Mythic with all the responsibility of shutting down. He's just going to dump utility right off the rip. So now he has no nades. Now he has no nades, and that util has not really enabled anything, unless it was an A-Rod. Rezion, though, poking out a monster, will take 2. Nice swing there, so on the other side of the map, things are going well. And an early engagement from Disconnected betrays them. For once, they wanted to get moving early, and it does not work out. So the AWP does have impact. Good call, I suppose, from Eros. If it had been towards A, they'd have really been in trouble. But it's not. And the AWP does shoot. But at this point, right, you haven't seen anything in a while. There's still 4 players here. This is where you want to see somebody start to float back up, and they haven't done so. So JT Mythic, out towards long, you might have a flank, but there's no one up front. This bomb's going down. He's going all the way around, too. He's not going through connector. He's going walkabout.
It's a matter of timing on that one. Because surely once this bomb comes down, Disconnected have time to make it. Freshy is just pushing in dry. Not ready for Stanislaw on the angle towards the truck. So yeah, he has free kill for Disconnected.
He has no information, right?
No.
His teammate is all the way out at Fountain.
And now Stanislaw has just pushed forward. Shutout is shut down, tries to get aggro, and it has to be a reclear. Another dry peek. This one won't work either. Stanislaw for more team damage even to aid in that one. And finally, JT Mythic. He's completed his trip around the world, and he'll find one. Delta 9, though, was yet to be unknown. Now he'll find a frag, but it's a stick. JT's holding onto this one. No, gets off of it. Still finds a shot and takes the clutch for Eros.
Well, that was a battle of mistakes made from both sides. Very big mistakes, but ultimately Eros hit the last man standing. I don't know why Beaky isn't watching something towards bathrooms. I don't know. He doesn't seem to think anybody can come up the connector. They didn't. It was a flank all the way around, but somebody could have come up connector in that rotation, right? It's not like they had any presence down there, but he's very confidently sitting at the planters, scoped towards, I suppose, bank or jump up. So he gets killed for free and taken down. So nothing to do about it. Just kind of a weird one on the retake, but it does work out for Eros. And now JT, right off the rip, has the spawn, takes the op, goes forth confidently, he gets a kill on timing. So nicely done. Now he'll give the op back over to Rezion and settle back in with the rifle, and with a man advantage, Disconnected, trying to react.
Long Beaky. Opportunity, but no one gives him his chance. So we're Disconnected in this mid-round. It's a matter of who will find the space, and it's a gap. Rezion still finds it past his teammate's elbow, able to connect onto the shot. A miracle that no one on the Eros side falls as a result of that AWP shot out towards long. So now more trouble brewing on this Disconnected side. Only a minute on the clock. Man disadvantaged by 2. No real information besides that the op is up towards this A site.
Spermy, trying to get a little bit of an opener going here. Oh, pulling out util mid-sight. They haven't cleared back dice, so that's going to be traded. Silas will get a kill. Delta 9's now gone all the way around. And once again, it is traded, but Delta 9 is last alive. B3 does have control of the bomb, at least would like to plant it. But if he doesn't get it down early, there is a flank coming from the bathroom, so he's going to be in for a world of trouble. One way or another, Delta 9 is surrounded. You need to pull off a pretty nutty clip here if he wants to take this round, and well, that's not going to happen. Shut out by the man named that. And it'll be the round and the lead for Eros.
AWP really feels like it's pulling through for the side of Eros, even when things look rough. Rezion is hitting the crucial shots to fight out towards long. The offer on Disconnected. Beaky had the drop on him, right? He had an opportunity for the shot, but it was just a tag. And the follow-up, it's patience. Past his teammate's body, able to find the kill, and Disconnected was completely shut down. They had to find just a fast hit up towards that A side. It was desperation. It failed in that one. So now, Vi's still here, but getting more and more limited as Beaky continue to take space out towards long.
All right, Beaky pushing up here. Teammate with him as well. Stanislaw to play off of each other. JT Mythic. Talking to the corner. Not all the way in the corner, though. He wants to go around. Is there a flashbang for him? There's a shot instead, and he's going to peek off of it. And it works out. They find both. They find the bomb as well. This is disaster for Eros. Quickly into the round. Sorry, for Disconnected. Quickly into the round. Eros going to continue to drop bodies here, extend their advantage, and with these two players completely isolated on site, Silas is in B, but who cares? It's going to be up to Spermy to try and reclaim this bomb, to try and do the damage, and take this back to a tenable round. Meanwhile, Silas making big noise here towards Connector will give up his information. Fresh is going to try and push around to confirm it, but Fresh should be ready for this, and he is indeed all on to Spermy now. And I don't know what Spermy's going to be able to do in these next 35 seconds to turn this round. Well, I just find a fight. Snap over to it. Still 2 to find. If they don't give him the fight, he's really in a tough spot. Omniscient usually does it isolated. These two players can't quite play together. Freshie will hold to make sure he can't rotate after retrieving the bomb, which means that it is Omniscient's responsibility to keep him off A. Not much health, so Spermy's going to need to hit these headshots if he does, and with 10 seconds to go, he literally does not have time. So he will snatch up the op and bail.
These aggro peaks for Eros have been so successful. I mean, out towards long there. I'm not sure if they heard an audio cue or if it was just a dry peak to get aggressive. But that long setup keeps being potent. You can see the Disconnected. They were stacking up, trying to find the boost to counter it on out, but nothing really found of it. So a lead garnered here, at least by 2 rounds, as we find ourselves now in in the final of the half. I would not hate to see a pace change for Disconnected here. In previous series we have watched of this squad, they tend to be really heavy on just the executes, on the preset plays early on, and haven't seen too much of that in this game just yet, as there is still a round remaining in this half. Bob is postured down towards B, but that same long control will be tested for the T's.
I mean, so here's the thing, right?
Hmm.
I kind of don't mind the slow style that they're employing because Eros are leaving big gaps in their defense at times, right? So if you
Yes.
can find and identify those, yeah, exploit them, take as much time. The problem comes that Disconnected are also making a lot of errors when they actually do move towards a site. And then they're not leaving themselves enough time to really do that. So let's see what they can do here. They are going to group up 4 players in towards construction. This is looking presumably like it's going to be some sort of a barrel in towards B, just based on the positioning they have now. They'll even bring down the 5th. 43 seconds. They are going to go for this. Utility's going to sail through, and they're just going to go in. 35 seconds. Here they go. On they move. Here comes the util. They don't really blind at this player. Actually, they do blind him. It's just a little bit too early. Timing not great on the flashbangs, and well, now they have been completely dismantled. They've found just about nothing, and even that 1 kill is instantly traded. There's nothing doing in this round. It is a round for Eros, and we will take a break. Be back after these short messages.
Well, a close one in the first half here at ESL Challenger League between Eros and Disconnected. It's Eros finds themselves slightly ahead now, looking to mount their T side.
Five-player push in connector. That's unusual from Disconnected. And it will leave a completely vacant B site, which will probably be walked into by Eros. Completely uncontested. So I suppose this is a full retake strat, but even now they're making their way up the ladder. This would have been a flank if they were towards Fountain, but they aren't towards Fountain. So instead, it's going to be a retake B with no presence in heaven. No, not even control outside of the monster tunnel. Shutout's holding this.
Yeah,
I mean,
this angle could be so big. Do they even check him? It is a blink. No, Stanislaw somehow finds it.
His shots hit the gate.
Yep, they did, and now it's working. Somehow this retake is coming to fruition. Rezion has only found one. Now JT Mythic, too much to do.
Oh, why does it
Stanislaw
work?
just runs on it. How does that work?
Oh, they gave themselves no advantage. They just walked in and killed everybody.
And they defused with that little time left. Yep.
There you go. All right, sure. Okay. It's an interesting strat. It's an unusual strat. I'm deeply confused by all of that. But hey, they won the round. Eros getting a bomb plant down will whip out the Galils, but there's 4 rifles right on the other side, so there's plenty to defend with for Disconnected. And, I mean, this is just... Oh, man. All right. I don't know how to read some of these rounds, so we're just going to figure it out as we go along right now. It's like trying to art critique a finger painting at times.
Here's the thing, though, Mike. It's all the secret sauce.
It's all the secret sauce.
With Omniscient, I'm sorry for taking the low-hanging fruit, but with all-seeing vision on the map, don't know what they're going to do. Then how can their opponent know what they're going to do?
This is true. This is true. You make a good point.
Yeah.
You make a good point. They're
It's
playing
just the next level of Counter-Strike.
They're really
It's
working
high
with
expected
all the
value
colors
plays.
of the rainbow.
No, do something just absolutely wacky that shouldn't work out on paper, but somehow does.
Whoop. I mean, at the end of the day, in a pistol round, if you click heads more than they click heads, you're going to win, regardless of the strat, pretty much. Here's going to be the play. Eros are going to bulldoze their way out to Monster, except instead of bulldozing, they're kind of they're just going. Oh, God. No one gets killed in that display. Eventually, Spermy goes down, but no one's walking away from that spray battle feeling good about it. It's a 4-on-4. That bomb's not planted just yet, and Eros are being held at the line. It's a battle over this smoke, though. It's really going to come down to shooting because all 6 players are here. 30 seconds to go. Eros do need to go, and they've got no utility behind it. So JT does just win his fight. They are going in dry, and it's working. It's worked.
Has indeed. So, another round picked up here for Eros. It gets very, very close in the end there, but the force buy on in, the recovered rifles do just enough to be able to take things on home. So, a much-needed advantage swinging the way of this squad. Now momentum at their feet, double digits already on that board, and only pistols to play up against in this round. 2 smokes, 3 flashes to work with for this squad. 1 smoke already expended early out towards Monster. Where does that other one go?
Alright, so if they test long, this could be bad. Right, Stan's got the CZ up close, you got Beaky with the Deagle behind him. This is not a bad setup here for Disconnected. Obviously, if they don't test long, you're going to be trying to figure things out on the fly. And it seems like they're not going to test long for now. Eros are expecting some aggression to come through for the pistols. It's not an unfair expectation. These footsteps probably were just heard by Stanislaw, so at some point he might choose to push the flank, and well, this could get weird. JT's coming through. JT Mythic's coming through. Oh, he's got his knife out. Fortunate for him, it was just a CZ on the other side, and a CZ that didn't connect its shot at that. So he's actually gotten past the end because he just kept going. And they don't expect someone to be that long, despite the fact that someone was just seen walking into playground. So, back turned, Rezion will go down. Now there's a rifle out towards long, and that's going to be a real pain. Shutout will take that kill, so now it's no longer a problem. Bomb is ticking away. There's a disadvantage here until 9 connects. But let's see if Disconnected can make this retake happen. Stan running forward with CZ does catch Shutout. Slow walking around the planter. And now they're flying through the smokes. And it's working. 1 for 1. Omniscient can't hang on. The defuse will be there. And they've done it. Disconnected have won this round.
Highway robbery is how I describe that. You're absolutely right. Someone was seen party. There was a walk up. No one clears long. There's a player tucked close on the angle. And well, decided to disconnect and take full advantage. Weapons recovered, a retake construed, and Eros losing one that never really should have been that close.
Well. Another round. Guys by some miscues and missed opportunities. B key, nice play there, right? The Molotov isolates the single player, and then he kills said single player. Now they've just eaten a ton of utility damage to the extent that they're basically